And let me stop sharing and let me record. All right, I think we're live. Oh no, we're still.
Not live.
Okay, I think we're live. I think this is it. Oh shit. Okay, we live. We're live. All right.
All right.
I'm gonna try to make this.
I think we're live. Oh, no.
Technical difficulties. Yeah, we're live now. All right. Well, welcome to the Targeted Podcast. I am Zahid. That is Nicholas. It's just us two this time around.
It's the heart of the podcast, man. We're the heart of the podcast.
Heart of the podcast right here.
Everybody else is just a guest at this point, man.
Yeah, y'all some posers. We the real deal.
Sorry,
so
Mark.
yeah, no. If you're watching, thank you for supporting us. And we get to talk about Loki today. And
wait.
Oh my God! So yeah, Nicholas, you finally watched the last episode. I watched the last episode on Wednesday. Yeah, we're talking Loki, and they messed up. They messed up real bad. Killing look at Daniel killing the final boss there. Let's talk Loki. I think they messed up a little bit.
But so you don't even understand. Yeah, no. You don't even understand.
Just for the group, everyone out there, we haven't compared notes yet, so we probably have two different understandings of this right now.
You don't even understand, sir.
No, I think I do understand. Maybe it's you don't understand. Okay.
Whoever's watching, please vote on who's most accurate.
Yeah, but let's start off with where we understand then. So, for example,
no, we're walking through the entire series. So let's start at episode 1.
No. Let's not walk through the entire series. Let's start with the last episode first, because that's the crazy one, right? That's the crazy one, and then we'll go back with what we like about the series and everything, right? So the crazy one. If you haven't watched Loki yet, we're about to spoil the crap out of it.
Too bad.
Yeah, we're about to spoil it like crazy. So, yeah, it's your loss. Here we go. Starting with the last episode of Loki, the big bad is revealed, and the actor, his name is Jonathan.
Oh, the actor, he did a great job. He
did an amazing job. Very. Almost, and I kind of want to say randomly too, we don't have enough great black bad guys in films, right?
We don't have enough great black characters, period.
No, fair enough.
Right. Well, okay, yeah, sure. Let's stick to we've had Killmonger and this guy right here.
Yeah, Killmonger's been good. That's
actually, you know what? I know you're gonna say something, but I think the guy that did Black Manta, I think he did a good job too. I was feeling it. I know you're gonna hate.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. I wanted more out of that film, and
it's not. I'm not talking about. We're not talking about the film. I'm talking about the character. And I think
I wanted more out of the character. Like, sorry.
For what he was given, I think it set him up to be like a very good antagonist later on. I think so.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's talk about Loki, and I'm still trying to post the links to our targeted podcast and all that stuff, so people can find.
All right. While you're busy with that, well, first of all, I'm rewatching the episode. I'm rewatching episodes 5 and 6 anyway. But this last episode right here, I felt like it had a Matrix level exposition. That's why I had to rewatch it, because remember how in the second Matrix movie, when Neo goes to meet the architect. And he starts talking all this crazy mumbo jumbo. I mean, when I watched it, I was like, I have no idea what's happening, but I hope you die. That's pretty much all I said. So this time it was the same thing. I mean, he goes through his entire history. You learn about the multiverse, where you learn about all the variations of him and how things came to be to this point, why he's there, the deal he offers to Loki and Sylvie. And I mean, it's something that I have to rewatch, because I want to make sure that I totally understand where they're coming from. But I can tell you this, sir, you are wrong about them killing the big bad. He's not dead.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay. Let's start with this. Okay. I'm still trying to like get this posted on like our stuff. I don't know how. Yeah, I'm just gonna just comment on this and be like, here it is all. So yeah, have fun. Watch. And I'll go to our target podcast.
See, this is why we need Omar, because he would handle all this stuff for us.
Yeah. Where's our
we're obviously just the talent. We're just the talent. We're just the talent. I don't know anything about what goes on.
I'm trying to be all skillful with this too, and then like,
right.
Whatever. Well,
that's what made it. I mean, that's why it works though, because he sets everything up. I do the video editing, and Saheed
just shows up. I just show up. My job's easy. Yeah, no. All right, so everything's posted now. We're live. Now let's actually get into this. So the actor name is Jonathan Majors. Okay, so for guys who don't know, that actor who played He Who Remains, quote unquote, right? He is also going to play Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That movie is coming out in 2023. So that's going to be the same. He'll be played Kang the Conqueror, which, like, what's the idea? Well, who is this guy? This guy who is He Who Is Remains. Well, in this last episode, we noticed that, he talked about other variants of himself, right? And he's dressed like Immortus, right? Immortus is a variant of Kang the Conqueror. And Kang the Conqueror, they've been dropping like little hints all over like the series. Like in the previous episode before, when they're at like the end, right? Where they met all the other Lokis, you saw Avengers Tower there. I don't know if you can see it in the rubble. Like eagle-eyed viewers, you will see the Avengers Tower, but it wasn't actually Avengers Tower. It was called like Kang's like company, whatever. And in one of the comic books, right, Tony Stark sold his company or Avengers Tower to Kang, which is Kang Enterprises, which is a obviously a company for Kang the Conqueror.
Oh, quick point. During the episode, it was either episode, I want to say maybe episode 4 or 5-ish.
Yeah.
When he gets there to the void, whatever that last like disaster area is called. I think it was called the Void, right?
And it's Elias?
No. Like, what's that area called where all the Lokis are, where he meets them all and stuff? I forgot. I guess.
Yeah,
like the end of time area or whatever. So as it's panning through the area, you can see the Avengers Tower with the Kang label on it. I thought that was crazy.
Yes.
I mean, they were dropping hints all over the place.
Yeah, they were dropping hints on who this is. So this guy who is He Who Remains, right? Now, in the comics, He Who Remains is another guy, right? He Who Remains is someone who created the TVA and that like Thor like fights or whatever. But it seems like they kind of combined the He Who Remains the He Who Remains character with this Immortus character. His name is never mentioned, right? Never mentioned. But when he was talking about how he describes himself, some call me this, some call me that, some call me a conqueror, right? Some call me an asshole. That's what he also said too. But yeah. So when he showed up, I was like, that's Kang the Conqueror. That's Kang the Conqueror. I mean, not really.
But it's like if you look it up though, like Immortus is like his future self. So it's like Kang the Conqueror spent all this time running around time, doing like all his bad stuff. And this is a guy who's realizing that now I have to clean up like all my crap.
Yeah. So he was dressed. He was dressed like Immortus, right? And he talked about how he was an old guy, right? He talked about how like it's a young man's game. This is why I think they messed up in killing him, and how Loki got it right to not kill him, right? Maybe his way is not the right way, right? And like the way he manipulates free will and whatnot. But here's why I don't think he should have killed. I think he was right. So when Sylvie kills him, right, or according to you, kills him, right? You don't think he's dead. Um, and Loki gets pushed back into like back to the TVA, right? And the TVA members they don't recognize who Loki is. He looks at the statue.
Yeah.
That statue that he's looking at is Kang the Conqueror,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, like Kang the Conqueror, right?
Yeah.
And this we're gonna call the first guy Immortus, right? Which is
Yeah.
him as Immortus. Immortus was like, well, like if you kill me, there are gonna be a bunch of other variants that just not good people, right? Like if you think I suck,
Yeah.
if you think
Yeah.
I
He's
suck,
like, he's realized it at this point. It's like, I've been in, no wonder they used to call me an asshole, right? Like, I'm terrible.
yeah, yeah. If I suck, you're gonna hate these guys because these guys really suck. Sylvie wasn't hearing anything of it, and she's like, "No, I'm
Didn't
gonna
care.
kill you, my life away."
Right. Well, she's about free will, right? So she's all
Yeah.
about, she felt like hers
I mean-
was stripped away from her, right?
Yeah.
She never got the chance to live the life that she was destined to live, really.
But he
You know,
did
as a little
offer
girl
it
to
to
take
her.
her.
I thought it was interesting that it was offered to her, by Miss
That they can
Minutes.
both exist. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I was looking at some reviews online, and it kind of seemed like a Willy Wonka-ish type moment. You know how he kind of tempts like Charlie like throughout like the whatever
Good comparison right there.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seemed like that's what he was trying to do because he really wanted them to take over for him because he was just tired, right? And I think he was just done. I think he was done. Like he's like, you know what? I've lived a long time. You know, I'm done.
Like it's like he was waiting for somebody to find him, right?
Yeah, well,
maybe
that's what he
but
said.
since he's at the end of time, I guess waiting for them to find him or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
well, according to what he said though, he was like he paved the way, to thus finding him, right? Just kind of set the path so they can reach him, and hopefully possibly take over his like what he does. Like I don't think he cared. Like if he wanted to, and you might be right. Like if you wanted to, he didn't have to die, right? And according to you, he probably didn't die, right?
Well, originally when you said like they shouldn't have killed him, I thought you were saying like him, like the whole like all of him was dead or whatever. That's why I was like, what are you talking about?
No,
but yeah. No, I think that variation. I think Immortus.
Immortus is gone.
Yeah.
So they done messed up and messing him up.
Yeah, they're gonna regret that.
Yeah, they're gonna regret that. They're gonna have to clean up all this nonsense that's happening afterwards. And yeah.
You have to wonder. So that if that's the end of time, you have to wonder if, you know, as they go back and fight him or whatever, are they gonna plant? Are they gonna turn another version of him back into Immortus and put him back at the end of time? Like, hey, you got to fix all your stuff. You know what I mean?
I think he's gonna be gone. So the way how eccentric Jonathan Majors was acting then, I wonder if he's gonna carry that on to his other characters, right?
No, I think they're all going to be different. I think the Kang, the next Kang that you meet, I think is going to be a totally different guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, So I think he's going to be a fun guy to watch and play.
Yes. Oh, we got some people going. My boy Jake is on as well. What's up, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for joining the podcast. Yeah, no. So I am just super excited to see what's gonna happen here. Yeah, I think they done messed up with.
I think they're gonna regret that, but it couldn't just be, hey, all right, we'll take over. Like, nah, it had to be more,
Yeah, no. So Roberto Renslayer, right? So who turned out to be a high school teacher. So in the comics, that's a love interest.
Yeah.
Of King Conqueror, right? Or whatever we're calling this guy. So I found it really interesting when Morbius caught up to her, right?
Yeah.
And she kicked his ass, which I think was hilarious. But
yeah, of course, no nonsense, man. That guy wasn't ready for that at all.
I thought it was hilarious because she was as you remember, it seemed like he may have known that he was going to get killed, right? And he probably thought that his work was super important. So he may have downloaded files. He told Miss Minute to download these files and give them to Ravonna Renslayer, right? Um, so she read it and she probably understood what was happening,
Right.
and she before she left, like, look, this is a necessary evil, right? Or this is necessary because this is going to turn to chaos, right?
Yep.
And I thought what she said was interesting when she said that the 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 free will, right? The only one person is in charge, right? And that's the person with free will. And she
Right.
left, and then she left to find free will.
Yeah.
So, like, what are your thoughts on that? Like,
I just think that I just, it gets to the point where like her eyes were open, right? It was just like, she's in charge, she's serving this role, she thinks she's serving her purpose, and then she realizes that like it's all a lie. And what she thought was what she was supposed to be doing, she's kind of just been put there without realizing why she should be doing it, right? And so then she's like, okay, and now I need to find, I need to go find some free will. I need to figure out like what's out there for me, and then what is the TVA? Like why was I brought here?
Well, I would say, so I would say this. I think she's looking for the next King the Conqueror. I think she's looking for the next leader, right? I think she's looking for the next person. I think he tasked her and she realizes his importance, and she's looking for the next person to like take his mantle. So I think.
You think she knew who he was? I don't think she knew who he was.
Well, I don't think she knew who he was. That's actually a good point, because
they're all doing the same investigation, right?
Well, like, so she asked Miss Minutes to find out who created the TVA, right? And when Miss Minutes got her information back, gave her information back, she said, "This is not what I asked for." She goes, "I know, but he thought this would be better for a better serve information for you. Happy reading." So we have no idea what she read.
Well, who was he though? Was he? So my question during that time was, who was he? Was he Morbius, or was he?
No, that was Immortus, definitely.
Okay.
Immortus instructed Miss Minutes to give her some information. So I'm assuming he may have instructed her to find, or the importance of like the TVA, and to find the next leader, because she says in search of free will, right? So I'm assuming she's in search for the next leader of the TVA, because she's a company woman. She's a company woman.
But if you're in search of free will, that kind of goes against what the TVA stands for, right? Because anybody who's a variant.
When she says she's in search of free will, she means she's in search for a leader, right? Because you remember she says only the leader is the person that has free will, right? So when he goes, where you go, so when he says where you're going, is I'm search for free will, or I'm gonna search for a new leader, right? And we do know in the comics that her and King the Conqueror are together.
Yeah, the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing. And I think they went to I think they may have had a kid. I'm not too sure, but
I don't know. I did read that the character, like Nathaniel Richards, was supposed to be a distant relative of Doctor Strange or Reed Richards. I was understanding.
Great point.
So if they make him a long distant relative of Reed Richards, then you know what that means. They're about to make Fantastic Four black.
My God. Well, a distant relative though, so he could have been black at any time, right? Maybe a great grandson or something, right? So I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
We shall see. I wonder how that's gonna work. Having a black Fantastic like a Reed Richards. Oh my God.
Hey, I mean, it opens. You got to remember. I mean, it opens the door. It's we're trying to be diverse in everything these days. So it definitely opens the door for it.
Well, yeah, it's gonna open the door, and there're gonna be some really pissed off fanboys that are like, "No, this can't be." But Kind of like how with Rue, remember that when we talked about our last episode?
Oh my god.
Yeah, but no, the next season is going to be season 2, right? And
Yeah.
I suspect it's gonna happen before Quantumania. So there's gonna be some other things that's happening. So keep in mind, a couple of things are gonna happen next. Spider-Man is gonna happen end of this year, right? And that's already dealing with a multiverse. There's going to be multiple Spider-Man. Jamie Foxx, the first
I wish they
auto.
weren't bringing the Jamie Foxx Electro back, man. He was trash.
Yeah, I mean, maybe MCU will make him better. We'll see. But again, that's going to be.
I don't think
Uh,
it's coming out before Ant-Man. Ant-Man comes out 2023.
yeah, it is going to come out before Ant-Man.
The new
So
season?
yeah, absolutely. It's 2021 now, right?
Yeah.
Ant-Man's 2023. They're not waiting 2 years to come up with the second season, right? So they have to come out with the second season. We saw King the
No.
Conqueror, and we saw King the Conqueror at the end of, like, as a statue at the end of the first season. So that's a
Right?
perfect lead up to Ant-Man Quantumania. I'm curious as to, does it seem like these movies now, or these show, like these Marvel movies, you have to watch the show now? Like, are they trying to, you know how Apple like has this ecosystem of like suites, like you have the iPhone, you have the Mac, you have iTV, and like you have to own an Apple products to get the best out of all of it, right? Um, I wonder if this is that what Marvel's trying to do with their movies now, because it seems like you kind of have to watch. So the next Doctor Strange movie, you kind of have to watch WandaVision to understand it, because she's going to be a big part in that movie, right?
Yeah. Yep.
She's a Scarlet Witch now, right?
Yeah. I don't
Quantumania.
know, because they do a good job of catching people up though. So I imagine they'll have something in the movie where, so you don't have to have watched it. I really don't think season 2 is coming out before Ant-Man though. I think Ant-Man is where you're really going to get introduced to who King the Conqueror is. So you got introduced to Immortus, and you have these hints about, there's more versions of him already right now. But I think when you see King the Conqueror, it's going to be an Ant-Man. And then you
Yeah,
get
well,
about Nathaniel Richards in Loki season 2.
yeah. What you're saying is that season 2 is going to be in 2 years, so it's
At
not going to
least,
happen.
I mean, that joint just wrapped up, man. At least they just finished showing.
I don't know. Think about Mandalorian, right? Waiting 2 years for Mandalorian.
I'm not saying it was an easy wait, but
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. So the actual order for the MCU
because
now
think about
is,
it. If Ant-Man 3 comes out 2023, that means that it's probably going to start filming next year. So he's already working. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
A guy can't be in two places at once.
I maybe he can. I don't know. You may have a point there. You may have a point there.
If they pay me enough, I'll show them fly between sets. I mean, if they give them enough money, then you never know, but I doubt it.
Right. So next movies in order now. Spider-Man No Way Home, right? That we know that's going to deal with the multiverse.
Yep.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I mean, that's 2022, March 2022. Then there's going to be Thor, Black Panther Forever, the Marvels, and then in 2023, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So, yeah, I
low key, you might see him in Doctor Strange.
Maybe.
Might see him in Doctor Strange.
I did hear that he might actually show up in Thor Thunder and Love. So
why?
Yeah.
That doesn't really make sense right there. But yeah, it's 1,000 rumors about these things, man. 1,000.
Yeah. Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
Get back to the show.
Let's get back to the show. What's your favorite thing? Let's talk about the show in a whole now, right? So, what's your favorite thing about the show?
I just think I think we're just learning about something new in the MCU, right? This whole like, there's a whole nother corner of the universe that we learned about with this show. It just opened up something that was totally new, totally different. You know, it would Falcon and Winter Soldier was like, okay, this is what happened. Like 5 years later, we're coping with it. With WandaVision, she's coping with, you know, what happened or whatnot, you know, the tragedy in her life. This is something that's just like, we're way over here. Like you had no idea this was even out there. And so I like that it was just the newness of it.
So what's interesting about this is that so in the comics, from my understanding, King of the Conqueror isn't that big of a like threat, right? But they really brought him up. This guy's a master of time, right? Well, according to the review, he's a mid-tier character, right? He's not, you know, some of the upper echelons, but I see him as like a top guy. No, I mean, this guy's a master of time, right?
Well, the thing about him is just like you could never get rid of him because there's always some version of him out there, right? But the other thing I like about this show too, I was personally like I was getting tired of Loki, right? So like when the show was first announced, I was like, dude, we've already ran through like Loki through the Thor movies. He had his character arc there. Yeah. You know, it's like, what else are we going to do with freaking Loki? So I was not excited about the show at all. But I really like what they did with him as a character too, even down to the point where, because you know he's a narcissist, they had him fall in love with himself.
I'm happy you pointed that out. Yes, of course, Loki falls in love with himself, and he makes out with himself.
Thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that is super hilarious. And it caused a Nexus event, which makes me wonder if Kang has something to do with that, or I don't know. The beginning of the last episode too was pretty special because it displayed just a lot of like what happened throughout the series, right? Yeah. With like Captain America and the music, you heard Wakanda Forever, you heard I think Falcon saying hey Tic Tac, whatever, good job Tic Tac. You heard a lot of stuff. They also displayed like a lot of other people too. So Malaka, the Pakistani activist, you heard her voice there. You heard the Till I Rise poet. I can't believe I just blinked. Gladys, what's the Till I Rise poet's name? I cannot believe I just blanked on her name. Like on live TV. This is horrible. I'm have to
talk about Maya Angelou?
Maya Angelou.
Okay.
Yes. So Maya Angelou was also part of the
it was like I wanted to say it, but maybe he's talking about he can't forget about Maya Angelou.
No, it is. It's on tape and recorded it, and I'm embarrassed. Huh? No, don't take it. Don't take it. Don't take my card. Yeah, it's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Yeah, no, Maya Angelou. And I forgot the young like environmentalist activist, her name. So she was also mentioned as well in like the beginning of the series as well. So like you heard her voice, like as they played the Marvel logo. So again, I thought that was all really, really interesting. Notice that they're all women that they displayed as well. There were other activists and like people that were displayed as well, but as you already tell, I suck at names. So
happens, man. You know, you talk and you just blank out.
Yeah, but I can't believe I blanked. I cannot believe I blanked out on Maya Angelou, but super embarrassing. But yeah, no, I really liked the series. I really liked how they like it's definitely new. And look, time movies can be messy, can be very, 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 very messy, right?
Always, yeah,
I like what they're doing with this time movie because they're not because most time movies it's on a single strand, right?
yeah.
Think of Back to the Future, think of Men in Black 3. Um, any times like a movie, it's super simple to understand. You change something in the past, it changes the future, right? But in this case, it makes you make multiple branches of reality,
Yeah.
and I think that's actually a pretty cool concept. We'll see if they confuses the heck out of people later. um, I'm really, really curious to see how that's gonna work.
I,
Um,
I don't know, because I mean, it's pretty. It seemed pretty tight to me. It seemed
yeah,
pretty tight right now, anyway. I guess until they do something that creates like a ginormous plot hole, right? I mean, you just never know.
yeah. I
What?
mean,
What?
they've created some plot holes already, but none of them that you can like, none of them as bad as like the X-Men plot hole, right? Where um, you remember X-Men, where in the earlier movies they said, "Hey, I met Magneto as when I was a 17-year-old boy," and then in the newer movies with like out Magneto, like they had some really bad plot holes in that in
I
that.
don't know what they were doing with the X-Men, man. And up until
They
first, honestly, up until the first class movie, I was like, dude, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
yeah. Yeah, they actually went with First Class and then Days of Futures Past, and then they kind of screwed it up again. But we're not talking about X-Men. We're talking about Loki. So
So what tripped me out too was so like at the beginning of the series, when someone got like purged or whatever from the
yeah,
timeline, I thought they were dead.
pruned,
Pruned, thank you.
yeah,
I thought they were
yeah,
dead. And come to find out that they're kind of just dumping everybody at the end of time. And it was like when you look at what you saw out there, it was like, you saw this Avengers Tower, you saw the Thanos helicopter, which is like a callback to like an old comic book or whatever. You saw Frog Thor, and then you saw stuff like their lunch trays and trash. I mean, they're just like whatever, just dump it
Oh
all over here. It's all gonna
no,
get
no,
destroyed.
no! We saw Thanos helicopter.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanos
You did,
helicopter, which is
yeah.
hilarious and silly and just makes no sense. But
But it's in the comics.
yeah, it's definitely in the comics.
I
They did
was
a
like,
really good job of. I feel like because I'm not super into like the Marvel part of it, like to the Marvel comics, because I
yeah,
read more DC comics, but it's enough to if you're not into comics, you'll understand it and kind of appreciate like the show as a whole. But there's those little Easter eggs there
for
that those
everybody
will
else that's been following it like forever.
yeah
Like I love that.
yeah they'll catch that kind of
I
stuff,
love
right?
that. Yeah, man.
Which
Like
I
even
think
old school Loki. Like I remember reading comics like with that
yes,
crappy looking costume, and like they even had him
yep,
on there. And then they showed you because he's like an older version of Loki, right?
yes,
And it showed you just how strong he became when he conjured up a representation of Asgard, like
yeah,
all of Asgard. I was like, man, that's
yeah.
crazy.
It makes you wonder if Loki's gonna ever realize that power too, right? Because he kind
Yeah,
of set
very
that
crazy.
he set that in him, right? Saying, "Hey, these knives are nothing to like a distraction to what you can actually do," right? And he learned to enchant people,
He
right?
did because he worked with Sylvie to enchant
Yeah.
whatever that thing was called.
So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do next. I mean, Marvel kind of did it again. They have a way to outside of like maybe not Falcon and Winter Soldier and follow this line, but like they have a way of kind of wrapping you in at the beginning
Yeah,
of this series because I remember I was actually talking to someone who's watching or supporting our podcast right now. What's up, Jake? How we they were when they said it was supposed to happen when like the Avengers supposed to go back in time and like do all the crap that they did, right? That's all supposed to happen, and
right.
like um Loki stealing the Tesseract was not supposed to happen. Um yeah, that's interesting. Question brought up to you now. So they're in a place where none of the Infinity Stones work, right? And in the comics, the Infinity Stones don't work outside of their own universe, right?
Right.
Uh, so I can imagine that the reason why the Avengers were able to go back in time to steal the Infinity Stones and have it still work is because they were still in the same timeline ish, right? Not a different universe. So I'm wondering, are we gonna see Infinity Stones again?
I don't think so, man.
It's not gonna work.
I feel like if they do Infinity Stones again, it means that they're running out of ideas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because they've been doing a really good job. So I feel like if we see some of these things that get rehashed, then they probably stop making money or somehow like something's going on with the franchise.
But it's also crazy to see how essentially the first three series of like three phases of Marvel, which is the Infinity Saga, I think is what it's called, right? And then you see the Infinity Stones and they're just paperweights.
Right? It's like, dang.
In the series, right? It's kind of like, damn, that's like, what was the first 10,
like
11 movies?
Loki was all excited to find them, right? And then he just kind of nothing.
He's like,
the
and
Tesseract.
like, yeah, I can send you back where you've killed Thanos. I'm like, yeah, we can do that. I'm like, that's
he gave everything that he would have wanted, right?
Yeah, that makes things simple. No, yeah, it is crazy good series. Great acting by everyone.
Oh yeah.
Like how about Owen Wilson?
I thought he was great, man. I liked his character too. Like the way him and Loki interacted with each other. Like I thought that was really good. Especially when he first got him there and he's showing him the film about his life and showing him how like he always loses and he keeps on asking him like, why are you doing these things? Tell me why. And Loki's like, resisting him at first or whatever, and then he kind of breaks down. He like really got to him. I really like this character.
No, I think you made a great point too earlier about Loki's character arc because you feel like it ended, right? When he got killed by Thanos. But he did a great job kind of rehashing it and kind of building it like a different way, right?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of did a quick catch up, like when you like watch his end, so he kind of knew like how he's supposed to like die. But yeah, it's amazing. I gotta hand it to him. Like they had some great actors there. I forgot the actress who played one of the hunters. Her name, you already know I suck at names. Ramona Renslayer.
Hunter like B-15 or something like that. What was her name?
Hunter B-15. I thought she was a great actress.
Yeah,
she was a great actress. Owen was a great actress. Oh, Sif. I
did like that moment.
We got to talk about her. I think she's gonna be in Thor, the next Thor movie, right? Thunder and
she
Love.
Deserves to come back, man. She deserves some more time for sure. I think she was underutilized, man.
Yeah, well, I think they're all the worst. It was all underutilized. I'm sorry.
Well, the rest of them were kind of one note, but like Sif is like a love interest of Thor. Like you only got to see her being a little jealous and kick a little butt, but that was it. So I like this.
I'm curious to see how it's gonna work when he gets back to Earth, and Jane becomes Thor, and then then there's Sif and Sif, and that's just gonna be really interesting. So
I wonder if she's gonna die too, because she had in the comics like she had cancer and like Jane being Thor was like
yeah, but I thought in the comics that's what the Mjolnir does for her, right? It helps her cure her cancer, right?
No, I think the more she did it, the faster she would die. I'd have to look it up.
I did not know that. Okay.
Jane Foster.
Yeah, you're teaching me some new stuff here. Yeah. No, there's so many moments that series. Oh, I can't believe we talked about all the great actors and we didn't talk about
time out. I found this. So Jane Foster's worthiness took the form of becoming Thor before dying of terminal cancer. So she sacrificed herself because she knew the world needed a god of thunder.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good point. We'll have to see about that. I forgot to talk about the actress who played like Sylvie, right? Great actress.
Pretty good
But
job.
I think she may have been pregnant while doing so too. She had a picture um of her being pregnant. Um and she was talking about how hard it is for like women in the industry to like work and be pregnant and whatnot, right?
Yeah,
Um so her name is Sophia Di Martino. I thought she did an amazing job as well.
she did.
Um
I really like the scenes of them. This was like shortly after they got. It was they were looking for like apocalyptic events, and there was
yeah,
a scene where they were on the train and they were going to that city, and
yeah,
I really liked like the conversation that they had, and again like you saw Loki like revert back to his old self for a little while because he was like,
yeah,
there's a side of me that's kind of into debauchery. I just can't help myself. I
yeah,
thought that was funny.
yeah. I mean, it does make you it does make you wonder about, so do you remember in Thor like Ragnarok, right? He talks about Loki could be so much more. But you always just be the god of thunder, but you could be so much more than that, right? It makes you
Yep.
wonder if he's actually starting to become
A little
more than
more.
that now, like a
Yeah.
purpose higher than himself. So um yeah, I wonder about that. So another fan of the show, Alex, she was telling me about the person who played Sylvie. So apparently, she had a costume design so she can breast pump, right? So
Nice.
yeah,
Gotta do what you gotta
look at
do.
Marvel. Yeah, look at Marvel trying to support their women actresses, though. So big
Well,
ups to them.
I wonder how much that's about them trying to support the women actresses versus her like really fighting to be like, hey, like I can't work with without it. Like
I think it's a bit of both, right? Because you don't want the news to get out there that Marvel doesn't like
that's
didn't
what I'm
help
saying.
her.
Like were they like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure, or there's kind of like a begrudging like, all right,
Well,
you know what I
no,
mean?
I'll, I will give him the benefit of the doubt, right?
I hope so. I
Think,
hope it is, but
yeah, I will give him the benefit of the doubt as they are trying to be as very with especially with the movies that's coming out now, right? You see a lot of more women-led movies.
yeah.
With Captain Marvel, which yeah, but I'm hoping the Marvels will be great.
Yeah.
Um, Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, which I watched with Premiere Access. Um, but that had a great theme as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it,
Well,
yeah,
I really asked that question earlier because you hear about like Allison Felix and her issues with Nike, right?
come
So I was
again.
wondering, Allison Felix, like she's a
Oh
sprinter.
yes, the sprinter.
And
Yes,
she's with Nike, right? So I was like,
yes.
hopefully,
Yes,
Marvel did.
no, right. Yeah, because she had issues with Nike when she was pregnant, right? And she said
Right.
that Nike wasn't very helpful and supportive of that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, big ups for trying to be supportive
So
um,
good
to
stuff,
that.
Marvel.
Yeah, no. Also, Loki being gender fluid, I thought that was pretty interesting. A big part in the
And
series as
it's in
well.
the comics.
Oh,
The comics.
yeah, that's true. It's in the comics and it's in Norse mythology of him being gender
Really?
fluid.
I
Yes.
didn't know that. I did
Yeah,
not know.
so in Norse mythology, he switches between like male and female, and he like impregnates like different animals, or whatever, right? So he kind of jokes a little bit about like an alligator, but he does turn that is in Norse mythology, right? So that's
Wow.
accurate to him, right? So that's a little fun fact that I learned about like while
Did not
researching.
know that. That's
Yeah,
okay. Look at you.
while researching Loki. So yeah, they did a great job with this series. Like Marvel really does. Like they do a good job with like talking with like blending in Norse mythology, not giving you exactly what's in the comics, but kind of alluding to certain things in the comics. Um, I've tried to guess what they're doing and I've guessed wrong.
You can't,
But
yeah, with all the, there's like 1,000 fan theories out there about what they, should be happening, this and that, and it's like, I feel like this is everybody was looking for a big bad in each show, and they were all wrong, right? Except for this one.
yeah,
But this is the only time that the fans were kind of right, because before we were looking for
yeah,
Mephisto, in
Oh yeah, we're
WandaVision,
looking for
right?
Mephisto and WandaVision for sure. like, like I don't think they're gonna actually have the actual devil in a Disney film, but
I mean,
that's too much.
you never know. You never know.
Or I mean, maybe we're not there yet. Maybe we're not there.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's next for Loki Laufeyson. Like, is he gonna try to take over the TVA? Oh, something else I wanted to brought up too. So he had a real connection with Morbius, right? A real
That's,
connection. Like when he said, "You can be whatever you want to be, even good," right? And he gave him a hug and says, "Thank you, my friend," right? So
yeah.
how much of a gut wrench was that when he
He
goes
didn't
back to
even
run
know
six
who he
where
was.
he's like, "You're an analyst, right?"
Yeah, man.
So
That was
yeah,
sad.
so that's tough.
It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah, but yeah,
So
no,
so out of the 3 TV series, how would you rank them?
it's a great question. They're all good,
They're all
right? They're all really, really good. WandaVision took us a little bit of time to get there. I knew what was going on, that was going to turn, but for a lot of people who didn't read, did a little bit of homework before. I mean, you don't expect people to do homework for this kind of stuff anyway. Like, I knew it was going to turn around, but a lot of people probably didn't know. Like, why am I watching Bewitched now? But yeah, if I were to rank it, and I'll admit, I'm a little biased, because Captain American and the Winter Soldier now, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier, seeing some of the things that he was going through, like the imposter syndrome, us working in technology, right? I felt that a little bit too as well, right? And just the fact that I think sometimes a lot of people like to think past being, a black person, right? An African American, right? I think Bucky said in the end of the series, I didn't know, we didn't know what it meant to give the shield to a black man, right? We didn't understand the gravity of what that meant, right?
Right.
And the fact that they went there, I was shocked. Disney went there. They did not hide from any of the stuff. So that's got to be number 1 for me. Number 2, maybe it's a little bit of recency bias there. Loki. I thought it's a very, very interesting concept. Great way to kind of empowering in many ways, right? In terms of female equality, gender equality, right? So many things that they're doing there. And lastly, WandaVision. And again, WandaVision, it's not a bad series at all. It's
Not
actually
bad.
pretty.
None of them are bad. None of them are bad. I said
Yeah,
none of
none
them.
of them are bad. It's really, really good. But if I had to list my 3, that's the order. So I'm actually excited to see the Scarlet Witch and other properties as well. So we'll see how that works out. How about you? What's your rank? I'm pretty sure it's probably the same as mine.
So I was going to say Falcon and Winter Soldier 1 at first, because like you said, it spoke to me the most, right? But I think the one thing holding it back a little bit, it was kind of by the numbers a little bit, and then
Can you explain that by the numbers?
I mean, you kind of knew what to expect a little bit as far as plot wise. You knew exactly what they were going. He's going to get the shield. Why? He find a reason for him to give it away, and he has to find a way to get it back. So
fair enough. It wasn't suspenseful. That's suspenseful to you.
Yeah, it was great action, right? Yes. It was great, and the
probably the best action in all 3 of them, actually.
By far, yeah. And the new variable obviously was the new Captain America, right? The imposter. I thought they did a really good job with him. But Loki is number 1 for me.
Really? Nice.
And then Falcon, and then WandaVision. My issue with WandaVision was it just started off too slow, man. It did not grab me. Loki grabbed me, boom, right, like episode 1.
Yeah.
I was really curious about like what are they gonna do with him? You know what I mean? But I was really interested in what was going on. So
they tried a crazy concept with WandaVision, and it paid off in the end, right?
It did. You just had to stick with it. You had to be patient.
Yeah, you definitely had to stick with it. I wonder about this ecosystem of like Disney now, because it seems like you need to watch these shows to get what's going to happen in the movies, because Maria Rambeau, who is Photon, right? She is going to be in the Marvels movie, right? In a couple of years. And was it Kamala Khan? Yeah, who is Miss Marvel. She's also going to be in the next Marvel movie called the Captain Marvel movie called The Marvels. So it almost feels like you need to watch these shows to kind of get it, which frustrates me a little bit. But I mean, at least they're canon. I mean, at least they're good shows to watch, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least they're not cash-ins, so I can appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, I think you're gonna have to. If you don't watch it, you're gonna have to get some sort of synopsis on it, I think. So if they're smart, they'll find a way for you to not have to. I mean, kind of with I think it's more closely knit than Star Wars, but I mean, Star Wars is kind of turning into the same thing too. You know, if you watch the movies, you get an idea of what's going on, but if you really want to know like the backstory, then you have to watch the TV series and read some of the books and stuff. So
so I think they've done a good job. Kevin Feige's done an amazing job trying to of piecing this together. I don't know if you heard about this, but it looks like all the other Marvel properties that's not associated with like Disney Plus are not canon. So they purged all those things. All those timelines get purged. Huh? So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon anymore. And
technically, I would think the opposite, because if you have the multiverse now, everything.
No, well, they particularly said that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was not canon anymore.
Well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was trash anyway, so it was a crappy show. All right.
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a crappy show. No, I didn't watch it, and I usually don't watch the shows because I know they didn't have nothing to do with like the main timeline, and like watching it would just be a waste of time, right? I did watch the Netflix series though, the Netflix Marvel films. Well, I watched most of them. I didn't watch the second. What's her name? See, I stuck with names already.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. Yes.
You're doing your. Go back and watch it.
The second season.
Go back and watch it.
The second season. Okay.
Yes.
I watched the first season of Jessica Jones. I couldn't get into the second season of Jessica Jones. I think I watched like to episode 3, and I was like, I can't do this.
No, go back and watch it, man.
Okay. So I think that's the only one. That's the only season. I didn't watch the second season. That's the only one I haven't watched. So I might watch that. Okay.
Yeah, go back. I would recommend that. Go back and watch it. That's outside of Daredevil. That's the best one.
Really, the second season of Jessica Jones?
Outside of, I'm talking about the show as a whole. I would say Jessica Jones. Wow,
even better than Punisher.
All right. Well, outside of yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Again, I am super excited to watch the rest of this. What's the next Marvel show coming out now? I don't even know. Is it? I know they're doing Armor Wars. Kamala Khan is coming out.
Yeah.
There's gonna be.
I think it's Armor Wars. I think it's
Armor Wars. They're gonna have Iron. Oh, I think they're gonna have Young Avengers. Hawkeye. Okay, yeah, the Hawkeye series is gonna happen with Haley Steinfeld is gonna be playing Hawkeye's daughter, so that's gonna be a thing as well. I don't know what series is going to be. I think it's going to be a Hawkeye series. I don't know which
Well,
one's next though.
where's Hawkeye at? Like, you can't just skip him over.
He's there. He's in the series. He's
Jeez.
with her.
Okay.
So, like, he's actually in the
I mean, I
in the
realize
series.
he's gonna train her because I think he was trying to get out the biz anyway. But I mean, good lord.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna skip over him, right? Like, they're gonna they're gonna pass him over. They're gonna pass over the next generation, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he'll get offed, like because he wanted to die earlier. So
He
we
did.
shall.
He was ready to go.
Yeah, he was ready to go because he did do a lot.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, random question: like, what other stuff are you watching right now?
What other stuff am I watching? Marvel related or just anything?
Anything?
So I'm watching Bad Batch, which is hilarious. I know you haven't watched it yet,
I have not.
and you're the Star Wars guy.
I know.
You're the Star Wars guy.
Sure. I'm more waiting for honestly, I'm waiting for the Kenobi show. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm waiting for that.
Kenobi show is gonna be good. Yeah, I'm watching Bad Batch. I watched the Black Widow movie on. So I bought the premiere access because honestly, it's $30, and I was like, I kind of don't feel like dressing up and going to the movies. I don't mind going to the movies myself, but I don't feel like driving to the movie theater, and like watching it. So it's like I could just eat and I can have my closed caption on and and watch it. So that movie, I'm not going to spoil for anyone. But that movie was really to kind of prop up because it doesn't push the timeline forward, right? It's an anthology movie, right? Like Rogue One, right? It's like it doesn't push it just kind of tells a different story. And they have some callbacks a little bit to kind of dressing with what she was wearing in Infinity War. So again, I won't spoil it to you. I would say this: I did like the interaction between her and her sister, right? So I thought that was
That
actually,
was a big part of the
yeah,
movie.
that was pretty heartwarming for me. So I really enjoyed it. We got a question. Do you think Loki will appear in Ant-Man and the Wasp since they appeared in episode 6 of Loki?
Who?
So the question is, do you think Loki will appear in Ant-Man and the Wasp since they appeared in episode 6 of Loki? So I'm just thinking the question is, will Loki be in Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I think so. I think so. I think it's very possible. If it has anything to do with time travel, I can see it. I can see it.
Also, another question, will Loki be a big character in the Doctor Strange movie? Will he appear? I don't know. It depends on how much you like Tom Hiddleston, right? I like Tom Hiddleston. I don't like him that much. I don't need him to be in all my movies.
I can see him being like a bit player, like sort of like how Doctor Strange was a bit player in Thor Ragnarok. Remember, he had like a quick little. He had like 2 minutes. I can see him being in there here and there because he's the time authority now. I mean, he went through it. He's at the PVA.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that works. I don't need to, I don't mind seeing him in Quantumania. It makes sense a little bit. I will have a problem if he's in too many films because as much as I like Tom Hiddleston, I don't need to see that much of him. So
I could actually see him being more in Doctor Strange than in Ant-Man because he's already had the interaction with Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
so
this is true. That's a good point. That's a great point, actually.
Yeah, you might have to.
That's a
if you got some
point.
questions about the multiverse, guess who's right now? Right.
The way I see that, I really think WandaVision set up to be the big bad against Doctor Strange, right? I think, right? Because they made a direct comparison saying that you have more power than the Sorcerer Supreme, right? Yep. They actually said that. So it just kind of seems like they're going to be put against each other in that series. So, but no, Loki makes sense. Loki makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
Because Yeah, Doctor Strange knows him,
Yeah.
and he doesn't like him. Doctor Strange.
Exactly.
Doctor Strange by nature doesn't really care for Asgardians either, in the comics, right? So he
Right.
kind of like off the planet, which is interesting because they now live on Earth now. So Asgard's
Yeah.
on Earth, so I'm really curious to see how that's gonna work.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, no, yeah, that's all I got right there.
All right.
What else you got?
That's about it. So I was asking what else you were watching, because I started
Oh,
watching on Netflix randomly a show called Ragnarok, right?
oh yeah, I heard that was pretty
And
good.
it's another take with the on Norse mythology, but I kind of got sucked into that thing. Like it's
Yeah.
really good. So it's like it takes place like Ragnarok has taken place, and like the guys like never really die, right? So that some of the guys have kind of been reborn amongst humanity, but they have to discover like who they are. And the frost giants, so they think that they're dead. The frost giants, everybody believes that the frost giants are dead, but they're not. There's still some around, kind of pulling the strings on humanity here and there. So it's pretty good. I'm on like episode 3 at this point. I was like, it was good, man. So then that made me think about, I want to see some things on like African mythology. I'd love to see some shows on African mythology, which brings me to a property that I really think they need to do something with. It's called Black Sands. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I heard of it. I've seen it on YouTube.
Exactly.
Well,
And
Instagram actually.
yeah, like I saw the little motion comic that they did, but I think if somebody in the right hands, man, that would be super dope. I mean, you got action, you got a little intrigue here and there. Like, I think that could be really good. But hopefully, we get something with some African mythology. I'd love to see that.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Um, yeah, I'm not watching a lot of new stuff. I just got a PS5, so I've been playing the Miles Morales game
Yeah, man.
recently, and I'm still trying to like work out and all that time. I did watch so I'm big into anime. Seven Deadly Sins. I've read the anime. I've read the manga. The
How is
anime,
that?
I
I've been
think
hearing good things about it. How is that?
maybe you might like it. I think it fell off. I think it fell
Harsh.
off.
Harsh.
Um, yeah. I mean, so I thought it fell off in the manga, to be honest with you. Um, and like the first couple seasons was really good. Like some of the fight scenes are really, really good. Like, man, they're going at each other. And I think it kind of progressively kind of falls off. And I don't think they actually completed like the final season. So I think they released like the first 12 episodes. I think they're releasing another 12 episodes. And we'll see how that works. But like I wasn't impressed with
Okay.
like the manga, so probably not gonna be that impressed with the anime.
All right.
But yeah, I already watched it. Don't let us stop you from watching it because we have different taste.
Come on.
Um,
Come on.
what else? I watched Yasuke. So remember
I thought it was a
Omar?
great series. Great
I
series.
thought it was a really good series too. Omar probably wouldn't have liked it. A lot of people probably voted against it because they made it very sci-fi ish, right?
Yeah.
And I guess I get it. I liked it. Um, the one of the guy who did the music for Yasuke is a guy. His DJ name is called Flying Locust, and I listen to a lot of his music. That's like really. I mean, he's a black man. He has a lot of these down tempo electronic ish type music. A lot of stuff for Adult Swim actually. So I thought the
Oh,
music was
wow.
actually.
Okay.
Um,
I like that one, man. I hope they come out with some more episodes for that.
yeah, so I actually like that too. Hopefully that will be as well. Yeah, I'm not watching much new stuff. Might it's a little late, so I might play some Miles Morales a little bit more before hitting the going to bed.
Yeah.
Trying to wake up a little bit early. So yeah.
All right,
Alrighty.
man.
Cool. Well, that's us. So that's it. We done.
Done.
Look, yeah, we're gonna have to do another one soon. Like, let me know when you watch Black Widow, and we can kind of review that one. I'm trying not to spoil that for
I
the
don't know,
people.
man. I don't know when it's going to be. I told you, like my Premiere Access. I guess only certain people with Premiere Access can. I don't know. I was just like, I want to pay my money.
You get that bootleg. You get that bootleg Disney Plus. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, I paid my money.
Yeah, it's true. I can't.
Like, I know they got my card. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah, go ahead and knock that out. We'll talk about that. I can't wait to talk about the. Outside of that, though, it's going to be a little bit till we watch anything more new Marvel, right? So I think the next one, I think, is the Eternals, which is going to be November 3rd. So.
Yep. I think next comic book thing is Suicide Squad is the next one coming out, right?
Oh, that looks so good. Yeah, we're gonna talk the hell out about that one. That one looks really
talk
good.
About that. I was looking at some more stuff in the trailer, and I was just like, because I saw what they were fighting. I was like, that doesn't belong here. But
I kind of like what they did with Harley Quinn because initially I didn't care for Harley Quinn, like what they were trying to do with her, because I remember her in like the comics and she wasn't like this super empowered type person. But like after watching her a couple more times, I'm like, okay, it's grown on me, right? It's grown on me. And the what is the movie with Justice League Gods Among Us, right? The multi where the two parallel universes, uh the fighting game, right?
Oh, Injustice?
Yeah, Injustice Gods. Right?
Yeah, that's classic.
Like great game. She was more empowered in that series, right? Like if you saw her storyline, like she kind of bucked away from like from Joker. So I thought that was actually cool. So yeah, I'm actually liking what they're doing with her. So yeah, we'll see. I can't wait till that movie comes out so we can talk about it. So yeah.
Yeah. Other series I'm looking forward to is Titans season 3.
I need to get on that.
Watch it. You have HBO Max, right?
I do have HBO Max, so I will watch.
Watch Titans seasons 1 and 2, man.
I will watch it. So, it seems like it's pretty good. It looks like the Red Hood is there. is best, right?
He is, and my personal favorite Robin, Tim Drake, is going to make an appearance too.
Oh, nice.
So I'm looking forward to this.
What's the Robin that was Bruce Wayne's son, actual son?
Damian Wayne.
Damian Wayne, yes.
Little brat, yeah.
I need to catch up with all the HBO Max movies because there's a lot. There's a lot. But yeah, I tend to watch some of the old classic Batman animated movies, animated series because it's just a classic. So it's so good.
Of course, I showed the kids Justice League. They loved it, especially my oldest. Absolutely loved it.
Good.
Absolutely, man. Honestly, like what's better than the Thanagarian invasion in Justice League animated series? Like I love that. I love it. It's like a 3-episode arc. Perfect.
It was a 3-episode arc. No, that's a good point. I don't. Yeah. No, it really showcased the love with John and Shira.
It was done perfectly, man.
It was well done. Yeah, that whole series is great. Okay, we can go on and on and on.
Obviously.
We gotta end this because this is about Loki, and we're talking about DC now. But yeah, no. Again, in closing, Loki is a great series. If you haven't watched it,
watch it.
Why are you watching this podcast? We just spoiled it for you.
Honestly, even if we spoiled it, you still need to rewatch episodes 5 and 6 at a minimum. I am, for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff going on there. So, watch Loki. Great series. Can't wait for season 2. Can't wait to see what Marvel is doing. They're just rolling. The Marvel train's rolling.
All right,
So
man.
MC's rolling. All right, close this out, man.
Well, thanks for watching this episode. Thanks for all the people who stay with us the whole time. We appreciate you, and make sure you like, subscribe, and follow all that good stuff. Watch all the episodes.
Yeah.
Let's get the views up. Appreciate y'all.
Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for participating in the chat. So
Yes.
I don't know if you guys see this, but there's a lot of people in the chat like asking questions, giving feedback. So much appreciated. Thank you for guys for all the love and support. Really appreciate it. So thank you so much. All right. See ya. Bye. Till next time. Actually, we're still on live. I stopped the recording instead of like the live. Okay, now we're leaving. Bye. This is the awkward. It's that awkwardness when when you say bye to someone and then you're like walking in the same direction. That's this right now. Okay, see you guys. Bye.